What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about two Grayscale trusts today, LTCN and BCHG, at the request of K. Carville. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. I feel like I'm pronouncing it wrong. I remember you told me how to pronounce it one time, and I can't remember. K. Carville. I don't know. I'm going to say K. Carville. It's fancier. Anyways, let's get into it, you guys. Here we are, 6:52 on LTCN. It is the weekend, so there will be no day tomorrow for this to be open, or the next day, right? It is late Friday for me, like very, very late Friday for me right now, actually. If we're looking at LTC as well, I thought I heard something. LTC looks like it had a major reversal yesterday, right? So LTCN probably hasn't caught up to that just yet. A lot of volume came in. Apparently there's an ETF in review for LTC on the 17th. Let's just look that up. LTC ETF approval. Sure, yeah. Let's look at it. Yeah. Let's see. Delays Litecoin. Yes, May 5th. Yes. But is there? So there's no new news. So they haven't let it out yet. Yeah, they haven't let it out yet. I think Grayscale, the LTCN trust, would probably get a nice boost up in the result of no ETF being had. I wonder what's the, and prepare your retinas, you guys. Prepare your retinas because we're going to burn our eyeballs here. Grayscale. Why don't I have it? LTC and Grayscale. Let's look at it. Hold on. Let's look at this here. I'll delete that. Come on now, Grayscale. You know, you want to... Okay, there we go. Let's see. Performance. Here we are. Okay, so they've changed things up since last I've seen. How do we know what the NAV price is? Okay, so right now... we are below NAV. Okay, so right now, actually, I guess it'd be better if we got the ETF approved at this point, right? We are below NAV. Litecoin's on a discount. LTCN's on a discount. Looking at the daily RSI, I think that we are bullishly postured overall, getting overbought, not getting oversold. I would expect that we find support here. I think this is a nice area to reverse, and I would expect that Litecoin itself does continue to move higher. I actually made a video on that earlier today, so pretty confident right here that what you've done is you've just broken out of this downtrend, right? This massive downtrend here, broken out of it. You're getting a little second lip here, a little higher low, and this next move will likely be at a higher pace, so it'll be at a faster pace. So I would assume that we're seeing, you know, you're at 652 now. You'll probably see some kind of extension based off of this. Let's see, from a high to a low. High to a, nope, no. Come on now, high to a, come on now to a low. I would expect that you see prices somewhere around $10 at least, maybe $16 at most. Something in between is the most likely, right? $10 to $16, something in between. Let's go with $12 as an expectation, right there at those prior resistance points and prior support. I wouldn't be surprised if you were there by the end of this month of June. If not there, certainly sometime early July. And depending on how fast Litecoin moves itself, LTC moves, that would also reflect very well in the price for LTCN. I do assume that when Litecoin breaks back above like $140, whenever we actually do finally break out of this accumulation range and see a breakout move happen, which will probably start going into the end of this month, but I think we'll see it come into full effect in the very beginning of July and going into the month of July. I would think that July is going to be very good and very robust for LTCN. You'll start to really retrace this whole bear market of a trend that you've had since April of last year, man. So looking good here. I think it's at a good area to buy. There's a lot of volume coming in, and you're not going anywhere. So I think that means that there's some buying pressure coming in, and you're going to reverse. Let's look at BCHG. Okay, BCHG. Just because if we're talking about them, if we're going to talk about one, why not talk about two? Why not? Could you imagine if I just did LTCN? Why is the RSI so small? Like, why did that? What has that been a thing? Was it like that a second ago? I don't get it. Daily RSI. Daily RSI actually looks pretty damn good on BCHG. Way better than LTCN's. No offense, LTCN people. Higher lows here, nice. Higher highs, you're in an uptrend. Uptrends tend to end when you're in the overbought zone, and not only that, they also get the most exciting when you're in the overbought zone. So here, from a low to a high, it's not really been too exciting. The excitement's about to kick off. Probably next week or going into the end of the month, you'll break out of this overall range here. Would you call this an inverse head and shoulders pattern? I don't know if I would. some kind of consolidation range. It might be like a complex. It might be weird. I don't know. Inverted roof, some kind of bullish formation at the bottom. That's what it is. I like the volume profile. I like the RSI. I really do think you're going to retrace here. Slowly bleeding away from this area. You had a very similar phase consolidation to this, like back here. That was a inverse head and shoulders pattern, to be fair. High to low. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you're up. You're at 321 right now. I wouldn't be surprised if you're at 538 or higher by the end of the month. You probably make your way up to prices that are at like 10 bucks or so very early July. If not by the end of this month, man, you're going to see some eruptive behavior. I would expect you get something akin to this, right? Something like that might take you up to here by the end of the month. That'd be my expectation. 538, prior support, prior resistance, something in that zone. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Let's look at Bitcoin Cash real quick just to validate. Oh, man, and that's the thing, too. Both of these coins, BCH and LTC, they're so close to breaking out of very like key areas that are going to hopefully, potentially, I think, they're going to send these things on moon missions. More bullish price than we've seen like all cycle coming from both of these, right? BCH is on the brink of breaking out of its multi-cycle consolidation phase, right? We're on the brink of breaking out of this trend line here. We're so close. We're so close. And when that happens, I think this thing is going to fly through the roof. I mean, if that happens by the end of the month, this thing really could be at $10 or more by the end of the month. But I would just track this, pay attention to this, because whenever BCH does start moving up, BCHG will likely move up at a much faster pace. It's been beaten up. It's been beaten to all hell, but I think it's going to make up for it with the, well, might not make up for it, but for anybody that bought here, it'll definitely reward you and grow at a phenomenal rate. I don't know if you'll see it by the end of the month, but something around 10 bucks to 11.30, if not by the end of June, early July, some point in July, if not higher. I really am expecting some big stuff coming from BCH on this next move. I really do believe that we'll see prices that are above last cycle's highs. So with that, just to keep that in mind, actually. Come on now, let's get it. Come on, right there, boom. 337%. You would have to at least assume double that for BCHG, right? 337%. I mean, dude, you really could be at new cycle highs that we haven't seen since April of 2024 by the end of July. Crazy stuff. And if Litecoin, if LTC does what I think it's going to do, let's do the same for LTCN, because I feel like I skimped out on that. I'm not trying to skimp. I think Litecoin will at least do a very similar move by the end of July. Honestly, I think you will be up here, if not higher, actually. So LTCN probably sees a very similar kind of idea. Let's see. Right there. 607%. Yeah, I mean, maybe, man, by the end of July, we really are, for BCHG and LTCN, back at these highs that we formed over a year ago in 2024. It makes a lot of sense. And the reason why I'm deducing that is because if Litecoin or Bitcoin Cash move up that much, I would expect at least that these things double, right? I feel like that's conservative. Most of the time, they actually do more than double whenever the underlying assets grow. But time will tell. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I think they're both at good areas to buy. And this nightmare of a bear market, man. What started off as just something that we were expecting was going to be a lower high or a higher low in this series of a parabolic move. It just kept bleeding. It's almost done. I think it is done, and I think you're about to see the bullish repercussions of that. So I got nothing else. Take it easy. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you all. Bye-bye.